again, welcome back to WRPVI TV. I am Wayne, and with me is George Dente. Did I get that right so far?
Yes, sir. George
Bridge
Dente.
Project Administrator.
Correct.
And right now you're working on the the
Crosstown Parkway Extension.
Right.
Correct.
And when you guys watch this, he would have retired. So don't be too jealous. Okay, so how many years are we working on that project?
We started construction in January of 2017. Project's been in the work for 10 years as far as getting permits and funding and all that. But actual
property?
Construction and right-of-way was prior to that.
Right.
But actual construction started January 17th, which is kind of interesting because here you have a $90 million major project that's being built in 30 months. It takes 30 months to build an intersection around here, so
okay.
you need
they
to
can't even do a
that.
curve in 30 months.
That's correct.
Okay.
So it's quite a feat in perspective.
Well, you know, I've seen a lot of construction in my years. When it was announced of the opening of Crosstown, everybody was like, well, it's about time, but they're not out there doing the work, okay, and dealing with the political end and the construction end. It is an amazing feat to have gotten it done in that amount of time. I have to give you credit there. What made you credit? How big was the crew that you had?
Well, it varies. You know, of course, you ramp up. At the peak, we probably had 150 people on the project. All sorts of trades, of course. And we're winding down now. You know, we probably only have probably 30 people left.
Wow.
And it's winding down.
How long is the project?
The length of the bridge is 4,100 feet.
Okay.
The entire project from end to end is about 2 miles.
Okay, so let's talk about the US 1 end.
Okay.
Okay, so, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, when you get off the bridge and hit US 1, there looks like there is a lane to make a right that'll merge into the street.
We actually come down at Village Green Drive, and we're widening the US 1 intersection to accommodate the 6 lanes that are going to be using Crosstown Bridge. We have dual left turn lanes. We have dual right turn lanes in all directions.
Okay.
So we're going to be able to get people on and off that bridge quickly. What you might see is you go to Prima Vista Boulevard and Port St. Lucie Boulevard at US 1.
Right.
Those intersections are miserable. They back up terribly, and there's not enough lane storage to get people there. We're adding 6 lanes of crossing. We're adding dual left turn lanes, dual right turn lanes. It will relieve the traffic on US 1, and like I said, that intersection is going to be a big one.
And I had heard that there'll be no commercial on Crosstown anywhere.
No, it's a parkway. It truly is a parkway. There's limited access. You know, there's some cross streets, but the most efficient way to move people safely 45 miles an hour through the city is to restrict businesses, driveways, and all those things like US 1 that slow people down, cause accidents, and take away the efficiency of the facility. The purpose of Crosstown Parkway is to keep people from points west near I-95 to points east to US 1 in the quickest amount of time possible.
Okay, so let's go back to the beginning when it started. Okay, and you guys took on the project. Did you think that you'd be able to get it done ahead of schedule?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, did it seem like a daunting feat?
They all are.
Okay.
Yes, they all are. But, you know, a big project is just a series of little tasks put together. It's like going to the moon. You know, we all talk about what an amazing feat it is for man to go to the moon. Well, that's just a bunch of people with tasks that they put together, and they plan, schedule, and prosecute them. That's all. And the beauty of a big job is you usually get better people. You get better engineers, you get better contractors, you get better inspectors. You attract the better people that know how to deliver these projects better, because there's plenty of money to do it.
All right, let's talk about the bridge. How high is the bridge? Do you know?
The height of the bridge at the St. Lucie River is 25 foot 6 inches.
Okay, so it's got some room to pass under.
Absolutely. What they do is they kind of study what kind of boats might be upriver.
Right.
And you look at the depth to see what size boats could actually occupy the river. And the other thing we looked at is the existing bridges at Port St. Lucie Boulevard. They're like 20 foot. So it really wouldn't serve much of a purpose us having much of a higher bridge,
Yeah, that's
because
true.
they'd be restricted anyway.
That's
So
true.
basically all we had to do is match those elevations. We went slightly higher, but there was no need to go 40 foot because you'd have the same restriction a
Right.
mile down the river.
You'd be stopped down the river. Did you get much objection when you were like planning this project out?
Well, the objections were environmentally. It was a very environmentally sensitive project. There's two different kinds of bridges. One is you're replacing a bridge. It's already been there, the impact's there, they're pretty easy to permit. When you get a new crossing, a brand new bridge going through a brand new area, the environmentalists come out of the woodwork. They're concerned about the impact of the bridge and what you're going to do to the environment. So there was quite a hoopla over the environmental aspects. In fact, it delayed our start 450 days.
Wow.
We actually had a federal lawsuit, and then there was a challenge against the South Florida Water Management environmental permit. And we had to wade through that, and just like any other bureaucratic process, it took 450 days delay to start of construction.
All right, so now the project gets started and you're out there. I guess, did people bid the jobs that you had?
This job, it's called design build.
Okay.
And there is bidding, but design build uses a combination of a bid and a technical proposal. What we're trying to do is, instead of taking a low bidder, it's really hitting a good idea. Like, for instance, you wouldn't want to select your doctor by low bid. You wouldn't want to select your dentist by low bid. Why would you want to select your bridge builder by low bid? So we use this process that uses, to keep people honest, a bid, but there's a formula for their technical proposal which shows what they've done, their experience, how they're going to approach the job, and the kind of people and experience they have. So you mish that all together and you select the best guy qualified for the job with the most reasonable price.
Okay, so really, and we talk about this all the time, it's not a fact. I mean, so there's always going to be a factor of money, but money is not always the answer. And I talk about, I could change my own oil, take me 2 hours. Okay, I could pay someone who's a professional to do it. It'll take them 30 minutes. The 2 hours that I would spend doing it, I make more than the $49 it would cost me to do it myself, or for them to pay them. And we always preach, use a professional. Use a professional. You know, on a project like you just did, you can't go back. Okay, it's there. It's got to be right. Now, did you get a lot of objection or a lot of pullback from the neighbors in the area?
Initially, nobody wants construction in their backyard. And we had to, deal with complaints as far as noise and dust and traffic disruption. But we reached out to them. We had a pretty good public information process. And we just educate them saying, listen, we know we're inconveniencing you. We know that you don't like this in your backyard, but it's going to happen. We know it's going to be painful, but trust us, we're going to mitigate that. We're going to make it as painless as physically possible, short of not building it. So we're going to build this. We're going to work together. We're going to have some empathy to you. We're going to tell you what we're going to do, and then we're going to do what we told you we'd do.
I spoke to Beth, okay, and I was put from one person to Beth. I spoke to her today, and she was a sweetheart. She was really nice. Guys, you got to understand something. This interview came about 2 hours ago. Okay, you had no clue 2 hours ago that you were coming here, and we had no clue 2.5 hours ago that we were inviting him here. So there was no prep work done, unlike the bridge, okay, for this interview. But it was very important for me to let you guys know what it takes and what goes on. Now, with that all said, the end of this project brings relief to so many people, and it's a celebration. And I guess the end of this project, you guys decided to make a celebration.
That's correct. The city's going to have a grand opening on September 28th. That's a Saturday, by the way, at
Not
9 o'clock.
November, like everybody thought.
September, finished early, 30 months. And at that time, they're going to just celebrate the fact that they have a successful project, biggest the Port St. Lucie has ever had, that they're going to relieve traffic, that the disruption is over, that people can sleep better now. They're going to have a ribbon cutting, trolley tours, a block party, live music, food trucks, a kid zone, classic cars, just a celebration of the opening, which everybody is invited to. And then at 4 o'clock that evening, we're going to open the project to traffic.
As you're watching this and you're looking behind us, that's drone footage of the bridge as it is today, which is 7/12/2019. And this was taken just to kind of show you, and then we'll follow up after the bridge opens with some more drone footage, and to see the kind of job that was done and how when something is done properly, it alleviates so much more than the aggravation that it caused to build.
Absolutely. I tell people oftentimes this won't be painless. It's like going to the dentist. You know, there's no painless way to do it. It's going to be, but let's shorten the time of pain and recognize that once your teeth are done or your bridge is built, that it's going to feel real good.
When your company got the project, was it like a worrisome thing? Was it like, hey, we got this? Or was it like, oh my God, this is work. This is going to be tough.
We ain't new to this. I saw that on a garbage truck one time.
Okay.
And that's true to anybody that they do. We're not new to it. We built a number of big bridges successfully. We know what it takes. And once again, it's a matter of planning and prosecution. You know, scheduling is real important. To put together a schedule to know what you have to get done by when is the only way you'll get things done. Without a plan, you plan to fail.
Where do you live in Florida?
Yeah, I live in Fort Pierce. I've been here for about 40 years now. I've been involved in, this is the 6th major bridge on the Treasure Coast.
Wow.
We did Roosevelt, Evans Prairie, Ernest Lyons, Jensen, and Indian Street prior to this. So it's been a 20-year run of big bridges. Once again, the Treasure Coast is blessed in getting all these improvements. And within 20 miles of each other, you're talking about 6 major new bridges. And it's paid my bills.
But you know how I feel. Everybody works, everybody gets paid, everybody makes money, we all have bills to pay, we all have things to do. It's not that, it's that the jobs that you do get done properly. And you were involved in 20 bridges?
Well, the last 6 in the last 20 years.
Oh, 6 in the last one. Okay, so you can be assured that in 20 years when they started this, those bridges are still up and running. You can be assured that going across this bridge is going to be a breeze for you guys.
Yeah, they don't let us do another one if we screw one up. I
Yeah,
found that.
I would think that would be an issue. All right, so we have a grand opening for Crosstown Parkway and the bridge. When is it? Let's do that one more time.
That is September 28th, Saturday, 9 a.m. it'll start. It'll be right on the project. You will be barraged with media blasts from newspapers, radio, TV, announcing it. There'll be flyers available. You'll have to live under a rock not to know about it. And once again, everybody's invited. There's a little of everything going on. And at the end of the day, you'll drive over the thing and never have to worry about running from I-95 to US 1 and points east.
There's only one scary part to that whole scenario.
What it is.
And that is more people are now going to get off at Crosstown. And I don't care where you get off when you're on a highway and you're doing 70 miles an hour, because we like to talk about being within the law. It's hard when you're on such a beautiful road to realize that it's not a 70-mile-an-hour highway anymore.
That's true.
And this is a beautiful road. Crosstown is a beautiful road.
What will happen is it already attracts speeders even before we're open. So Port St. Lucie Police will step up enforcement. They've done that a number of times on the section west of there because it is wide open space. It looks like the turnpike. You have the ability to go that fast, but not safely. And trust me, the Port St. Lucie Police will step up enforcement. You wind up getting a ticket. 45 miles an hour is plenty fast to get by it. You'll be from I-95 to US 1 in 7 to 10 minutes.
Okay, that's 45 miles an hour as compared to St. Lucie West, which is 4.5 miles an hour, and Port St. Lucie Boulevard, which is 4.5 miles an hour. Those two roads are a nightmare. It's going to really be a major blessing for the city of Port St. Lucie and the unincorporated part of Port St. Lucie, which I'm in, and this has become my home. And I'm proud to talk about things like our school system, our crime rate being down. Now we have an amazing east-west pathway to get to 95. It's horrible to get to 95 because if you go down Port St. Lucie Boulevard and you get to Gatlin, you actually have to go to north to go back to south. That bothered the heck out of me. And going down Port St. Lucie West, Perma Vista and St. Lucie West, was a nightmare. So I would drive all the way down to Canner and across Canner to 95. Crosstown is going to be a blessing when I head south and when I come back from south. You guys are blessed to have such an amazing project completed in only 30 months. With that, Judge, I want to thank you for coming on.
Yes, sir. Pleasure.
Come out on the 28th. All right. I hope that WRPB will be out there. I'm sure we will. You'll be out there, I'm sure.
Probably, unless I'm
Okay. You
somewhere
busted-
on vacation.
You busted your butt over the last 30 months to make this come true.
Yep, time
He'll
for a
watch
break.
it. He'll watch it in reruns.
At least, at least.
Well, I want to thank everybody for watching, and we'll be right back.
Okay.